walking in the sand in the desert out here. It's nice. So kind of sending prayers DMX's way. I know he's in the hospital, so just kind of thinking about that. And I got my boots on out here. I broke my foot in my back on April 3rd, 2020. And it was kind of after a build up from a sanctuary that happened on March 19th, 2020. And that was 2,300 days since Paul Walker as well. So it was kind of weird how that all turned out. I was kind of thinking of the horns in Daniel and everything in the Bible. But I like to wear boots now just for that reason, like so I don't hurt myself again. And I like boots that are comfortable. Just more heel support and more balance. I feel like, and not as heavy footed. That's just how I feel with boots on, kind of. Which is the opposite of how I felt at West Point, because I had these terrible boots there that gave me these horrible blisters. But I just wasn't used to it. I hadn't broken them in like I should have. I got blisters right away when I tried to break them in. So, and they were the hard kind of boots, like really hard on the surface. Really, we should have had these that I have on right now to even go there. Because if you don't have the right boots, it just makes a lot of difference. But and then also on the video I got uploading right now, the willow of the dark willow, that's also represented by Robin Williams. And the thing about that is, he would talk really fast and do all sorts of expressions when he talked and everything. And you could say he was even kind of like Adolf Hitler's spirit a little bit, because he talked with a lot of expression and was very animated, and just in that sense, not anything bad. And so that's kind of represents me as well, because I would talk about, conspiracies and stuff and get real deep into it. And, trying to be a watchman and everything. And there was something dark about it, because everyone is split-minded on it, because they want to be claws and flyers and still have money and everything. And nothing's wrong with that. But that's the whole question, is how do you deal with end times when you don't know when it's going to go down, but you're still trying to make it in the world. That's the whole, it's a split-minded connection of it. And they show that in iPego too, with the split brain that's on the wall in the classroom, and they got Obama laughing, but really that's not Obama. The Obama that we know is not the Obama that's in realness. If you look up the deaths that have happened around him, whenever he was on the move and whenever he did stuff in the news, you'll find that he's on the side of doing burdens and stuff. He was heavy into the burdens and made sure that he never pulled the trigger before he knew certain things were going to go down. And he knew the Freemasons and everyone would trick everybody. That's what he knew. He knew the Knights of Ni and the Dark Orders, the Orders of the Phoenix and all these guys. He knew that they weren't on the side of good, and that's why he stayed in the car. He did burdens in the car in the limo, and he did sacrifices and stuff for God. It's not what you think. He's not I used to think he's the man of perdition, but if he is, then he's more on the side of trying to conquer sin, do burdens in that way, the peace of sin, he's just not, he's not the betrayer. And yeah, he has masks, like the mask and stuff, because of everything that he's done. Like his exhaust has produced the masks, and he's got multiple masks. Like that's what that means. Like they try to twist it and stuff, but like it's not. That's just not what it is. Like it took me a while to grasp that, like, and I'm still grasping that he is my arm. Like when we were both looking into the code of how girls talk and stuff, like he became my arm. Like he was like, yeah, I think Brock's doing it the right way, like pointillism and stuff. He's like, that's the way we need to go. And then he kind of changed things based off that. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know. So, but that's what that was, though. You know, the Willow, and I wanted to say about DMX. I hope that he's all right. Like, I'm trying to send good thoughts and feelings that way. And I just like being out here, walking on this sand here to kind of clear my mind and stuff. I don't bring Jeremy out here, you know. The dog Hydro, like I call him Jeremy, but I don't bring him here because I take him for walks at Aliante Park. But I come here for myself, you know. So and they got basketball over there, and then they got tennis over there. And I've been playing tennis with my dad, and like, you know, it's been good. So I don't know, like, you know, people just, they don't see the truth. Like, they just don't want to, you know. And like what it says about the prince, the power of the air, like they could have been saved. Those guys that hear things and stuff, like they could have been saved, you know. Like there's many people that have their ears opened. Like I kind of do sometimes. I basically just hear the Legion. That's all that the power that I have. But like there's people that can understand the actual language and they're not part of it. And like they don't choose to be saved. Like, does that make sense? Like even like Grox and stuff, like Grox has the vision. Like there's people that have these powers, but like they're not choosing to be saved. Like, and yeah, they'll talk about Jesus and stuff, man, but I just think a lot of this is corrupted. Like that vision I had on the day of the gargoyle stuff and that Goliath, like that was some real shit, man. Like, you know, I hadn't slept the night before. Like I could just tell, like this was some real stuff. I was driving in all over town, like Las Vegas. Like I knew something was, like I could just tell in the street signs and everything that something was up with that. Like Pulp Fiction, everything. Like the Barnabas, like they changed the story. They did. Like Jesus is not like what we think. And I knew some of this from Dogon tribe people, you know, that I met like in dark places and stuff. Like I knew some of this, but like, you know, basically you have God and Satan, like Israel, you know, like it's some real bit stuff about the splitness of it, about the split. And then you look who's causing the split right now, you know, like what, you know, and like are they going to be split as cherubs, or are they going to be put back together and be mixed? Or is there someone who is a mix of both? And that's their essence, like, and they cover him. That's what we got to be thinking about, like, you know, like, yeah, it's kind of funny, like Jeremy, like the dog will be doing, you know, the miracle ministry, but like I'm not worried about it. I just kind of think, and I pray to Jesus, don't get me wrong. I just think there's this Maasaw character that's like many lives and no Zion, you know, no like Charles in the Edge film. That would be Zion, like Zion many lives in that way, but the Maasaw would be many lives with no Zion. And then there's the Earth, who we talked about was Robert Shaw, and like the binding the stars from Earth and stuff. Like she was covering that way. And then and that was basically 7 stars with praying mantis type Super Saiyan stuff going on. That she was like doing that. And Robert Shaw is the, I have a wife. All that, like how he would get heated, and like when he played one of the one of the kings over there in England during that split, the schism. And then Jaws, of course. And then you have the 43, which is the perfect girl, doing everything. He's 43, be careful, that they said to me whenever I broke my foot in my back. And then you have, he love, like he is love 3, love him is 43, be careful. That might be what that meant, They might not have meant like he's the 43. They might have meant who loves him is the 43. Just a thought, I don't know. And then the bend bow, the bend bow, that Matrix ending, like the hallway bends, that it's microcosms, like, and that's kind of like Elias, my arm that, has showed up that he might have cut off or something, God willing, and mercy and grace, hopefully he's covered by mercy and grace, so just some thoughts on that. But those would be like the main 4, all right, I'll get off here. Thank you.